What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Trail Theory Podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Alex.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Pfeiffer.
Welcome, everybody, to the Trail Theory Podcast. I hope you're doing well. How are we?
Awesome.
Peachy.
Good.
It's been a minute since we've been in the studio.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
It has, because last time we recorded, we were on the trail.
On the trail.
Yeah.
Sans Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
And if you missed that,
go.
just idiots.
Idiots. Who misses episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that where the link goes?
It should be here.
This way. Yeah.
I feel like whenever
somewhere.
we do that, it's like not there.
Well, sometimes I forget, and it's like it's like 12 o'clock at night when I'm putting them up. So it's like I'm
you
doing
forget.
This and,
Well, you can go
it doesn't
back. You
matter.
can look through the playlist there and YouTube and Spotify.
Look at these three fine-looking gentlemen be out on the trail talking.
Yeah,
We do have video on Spotify, by the way.
we do.
Oh, we're
So
doing
it's
that now.
there.
We are doing that now.
We've
That
been
is
doing
a
it
thing.
for like the last 2 months or something.
Yeah.
I always watch on YouTube. So.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch on
we need
You
to
can
Spotify
watch
if
on
you want
Spotify
now.
too. So yeah, they have it. They have it
Nice.
both. So
And while we're getting all of it out, why don't you just go ahead and like and subscribe
And comment.
and come and
talk
do
to
all
us.
the things.
Yes, all the things.
It
Send
helps
us an
us
email.
out. It really, honestly, does help us out. So
Yeah.
just please do that. So
High five
be
your
great.
screen.
that's exactly it.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
What are we doing today, boys?
Just a nice campfire conversation.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I've needed
Part
this.
165.
A lot of those.
If we're counting the ones that we just always have off air, this
was
is like
gonna
a
say,
million.
Part
Yeah.
900 billion.
On camera though, this is
Good
number
camera.
Dude,
six.
that looks
nice.
like
That's
a fantastic
that is a-
camp spot.
good-
That
Paul-
kind of looks like an AI
Paul's
generated
here.
photo,
Paul's
though.
on the ones and twos, and he's
does.
pulling up basically a Yule log for us to
that's
make it seem
totally
like we're having
AI.
a fire.
It's totally
I like
AI.
that.
That looks AI.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely AI.
I think so.
It might be.
But I tell you what, if we walked by that,
I would
stay
stay
there.
Yeah.
It looks
go,
like it's got some
what
flat
a
ground.
stack.
And yeah, the fire. I mean, that's why it looks too perfect.
Actually, I would
Well,
go.
there's also-
I would go. Wait, no one's here.
No
Someone
one's
just
here.
left an unattended fire
It is
in the
a
middle
little
of the woods.
weird.
We're gonna have to put that up on the on the episode.
Yeah.
There's no like extra wood to let it keep going. It's just like this is what we have. We used all of our wood in
And then
one
they just
go.
pieced out.
They did not in it. What was it? The pile system. Is
Yeah,
what
Look
they
at this.
no,
started
And
that's
a piece
creepy.
of- there's one of the logs is gonna fall out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
outside of the
And
ring.
yeah.
And you know what?
Risky.
This fire sucks.
This fire is not great.
Good, not safe.
Yeah, we need.
Never mind.
We need to do a better job.
It is
with
red
this.
hot.
Sometimes aesthetics are not
Realistic.
it might look okay from the outside, but once you look in the details, it's
Oh,
pretty
man.
bad. That's a bad campfire.
It's not good.
Looks
Especially
like
when
dry
it's just
tinder
a-
around it too.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of dry stuff
Yeah.
around
A lot of
there.
pine
A
needles.
lot of pine needles.
Wow.
The AI that generated this photo is not responsible, not
Yeah,
following
well,
the principles.
They don't know the 7 principles of no trace. That's for sure. We do.
we do.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
We do a really good job, actually.
We do.
I think we do.
We made
did a
sure
nice
that
job.
all the fires that we had, we put out.
We did put them out.
fully put out.
Especially if Greg's there. He like
Well,
brings
it
a-
may-
He's a hawk.
It
for
made
sure.
it very easy. We were by water each time.
That helps.
which
That
was
helps.
nice.
yeah. He puts out each fire about 8 times before
He's and I'll say this.
Greg, I put my hands in the coals. We're good.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're wet. They're wet.
Wet.
I will say that is something for me that has changed from trip 1 to now, though.
For sure.
I've
And,
learned from Greg a lot.
think, he's diligent about it, and I will say, like, when we first went out, it'd be like, it would die down. We'd put
die
a little
down,
bit of
right.
water on it, and whatever. It'd be
Yeah.
fine. It would be fine. It would truly
would-
be okay.
yeah.
And ever since he started coming on the trips, he makes sure it's like
out.
it's soaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
There's
like
out, and then there's out.
and then there's Greg out.
Yeah.
Like it's
And it's covered.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because there's about 2 more water trips over and above what I would do when I'm being extra safe. Like it's
Yeah, it's-
there-
yeah.
it's
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
But we love you, Greg. And
Yeah, no chance
you're-
for a fire in the
you're
morning.
Very
It's just a pool. Yeah. Yeah.
Paul got it
Paul
going.
got it.
every
You're right.
Make
morning.
it happen.
He did, yeah.
You made your oatmeal over the fire, right?
Day night
good.
1 or day 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, morning
Was it
of
just
day 2.
Morning of day
Oh,
2.
yeah.
In the pony corral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to use my new pot and spilled half of it.
Well, half of it's still like more than enough that you need for oatmeal
That's
because that
true.
pot is
Right.
massive.
900
Yeah.
It's like
milliliters.
you're cooking for the Navy on that in that
Bro.
thing, dude.
I can't
Bro
believe that
meal.
the difference between 750 and 900 is so drastic.
Oh, it's big.
It's
big.
I feel like you could fit 8 tokes in that thing, and it's not that much bigger.
You use it as a helmet.
I know. I saw like Austin's cup. I was like, man, that's
That
a little
little
sippy
thing?
cup.
That little
It is. Well,
Compared to
mine
my
is probably.
pot.
Well,
like-
that's just a coffee cup, didn't you? You
Yeah.
don't have one, or you don't
Mine's
even bring
small.
one.
Mine's
Yours
is
is,
a
like 500 maybe?
450.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
you xed out a bigger pot.
I did, yeah.
for the pan.
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I brought a pan instead because like I just realized
I saw
didn't
the
need the bigger
photo
pot.
of you cooking that steak.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, okay, so
that
here's
turn
the
out
thing.
good?
So the mistake I made the first time, there were lots of them, right? It was overcooked. It was just tasted horrible. I've definitely figured out how to cook it perfectly.
Yeah.
Next step is just adding some more flavor to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the cook was perfect. Next step is like, all right, I got to figure out like
Dial it
herb
in.
butter, garlic, something to like, a little bit of rosemary, something
You
like
could
that
bring-
for
yeah,
it.
rosemary would be
Yeah,
easy
you
to
could
Dude,
do
so
that.
easy.
Yeah.
So that is the next step. So we're well on our way.
right.
But the cook was
It looked
was
good.
great.
And the photo
pan,
looked good.
I'd put the pan over the fire, and it got
Was that the first time you used?
It's a
scorching
titanium
so
hot,
fast.
or it's a titanium hot. It's a titanium.
No,
pan,
it's
right?
probably filled with like a whole bunch of horrible chemicals like Teflon. I don't know. It's just a really cheap pan. But
Okay.
listen, Teflon one night out of
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
whenever. I don't really care. No, I don't know if it's Teflon, but it's not titanium.
It wasn't
and it's
cast
not
iron.
definitely not
It's not
cast.
cast.
It's lightweight. It's a lightweight.
Was that the first time
non-stick
you'd
pan.
used that one?
I
or-
want to see grill
No, I
marks on
brought
yours
that a couple
next.
times.
Okay.
So I brought that for. We've done like Spam in it and a handful of other things. So
Yeah.
The Spam was good in that. Yeah.
Spam was.
You guys do
Yeah.
Spam too?
And Paul made his
Sure
hot
did.
dogs in there.
Bro,
Yes.
I night two, I had the little chicken pouches from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I just seared that up a little bit in the pan just to
Yeah.
put in my little tacos.
Yeah.
So that was
Man, the pan is
It's very valuable. It's
is-
not something you
goes
would
a long
really
way.
think about, like wanting to. Like it really does add a lot of.
especially since I don't do freeze dried meals that often. It's worth it's obtuse. It's not very. It doesn't
Packed-
fit in
it's
the
not
pan
as
very well.
packable. Yeah,
I can kind of like fit it in the side where like it's not really bothersome, but it is like not easy to pack. But it is
the options it
wonderful
provides.
for my
Right.
food options. So
Yeah.
like I used it literally every meal, so it was definitely worth bringing.
Yeah.
the options it opens up for.
If
food
I
are pretty
wanted to get really
extreme.
bougie, I would get like Snow Peaks makes like a really nice one.
Yeah, they do make a nice.
That's
pan.
about the same size as mine, so it
Yeah.
would be lighter and it would be a really nice pan. But I'm not ready to, spend $80.
I wonder
for
if
that, or whatever it costs.
Fire Maple has.
They
they
do.
do a lot of kits,
They do.
and I wonder if theirs has any of their kits have a skillet. Because I know
I'm
like
sure.
the main one that they sell.
Look up
has the
Fire
pot.
Maple. Yeah.
And it's got the stove, the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
See,
fit
there's their
everything
pan.
in it.
Fire
like
Maple
But does
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
fit into any of their like kits?
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, because
sort
they've
of.
got. Well, they've got a few different kind of kits, dude. Fire Maple's got a ton of
They
stuff.
do, they do.
It is
The only thing
wild
it's
when you
heavy.
go
I
to
mean,
the
it's
website.
convenient. It all packs in nicely. It's super integrated.
Yeah.
It's awesome, but it's heavier. Like,
Yeah,
that's
look at
the-
that.
It's still,
you know.
but it's still again a disc.
Right.
That's like
like
a
that,
small
that's still
Frisbee.
not that big. That's like the one we had on the
Hey,
last trip.
speaking of frisbee, look what I found.
Hey, there it is. We forgot the aerobe.
It was in my car. I brought it back for you.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I'm still sad about that, but
But I hear you
We-
guys had a
dude.
very exciting hacky experience.
I'm ready. I'm ready to end the episode now and
then
go
just
in the
go
yard
out.
and kick the
I'm
hacky
down
sack.
for that. Actually, we can just videotape us
Finish
doing
it,
that
man.
shit.
Yeah.
It.
The next
I need-
45
I need-
minutes
listen,
are going to be the hacky sack.
I will say the trip started with some poor hacky sack.
Well, yeah, because we never ever give
never
ourselves a
committed to
chance.
it.
But we've always been pretty bad. We started pretty bad. I was pretty down on the hack. I was like, I think I'm done with attempting this. And then on night 2, something happened. I don't
just-
know if it was the pending
Lightning in a bottle.
thunderstorm that was about to
Yeah.
annihilate the land, but it was unleashed.
we got good.
We got good.
I'm really bummed we didn't like capture any of that second night because it was
Is the one capture you got from the
epic.
first night?
That was from the
Yeah,
first
it-
night.
Oh, so that's not even the good
That's
one.
not even the good one.
At Fiverr, it was a sight to see. I mean, it was outrageous.
We are gonna have to. Let's start investing into like a nice hacky, like something like a pro hat. Yeah, Paul's
pro?
right on.
All right, what's the
Paul's
difference?
right on the
Yeah.
money with it. It's
What-
got to be what it's filled
What
with.
defines a pro?
What it's
hacky
filled
sack?
with. What it's
Okay,
made
well, what's
out
it
of.
filled with? Let's learn
Let's
something.
find what's the most expensive hacky sack you can find.
That's a
Let's look at that.
professional
Most
foot
expensive
bags.
hacky sack.
Foot bag.
They're called
Are usually made out of a fabrics ultra suede light facile,
I don't know.
and arametta.
These are
Amaretta.
Amaretta. I can't read from this far away.
I can't read from this.
Well,
far
These
away.
are laboratory tested and for lab bags.
Is this
you
like
know.
synthetic versus down?
Yeah, dude, for
We're
sure.
gonna have an episode soon
We
about
have
hacky sacks.
We have a synthetic one right now. We need to go to the down. We need to get down.
What hacky sack
Kickball.
brand?
Look at that one. That one's called Sir Hemp.
Yes, dude. You got Dirtbag.
Sandlord.
I love
Sir
it.
Hemp Sandlord. Oh my God.
I
Yeah, that's
love
intense.
these.
We need to get a variety of hackies.
It looks
and,
like you don't have to spend. Well, there's a 3-pack for $80. I was
What?
gonna say it
Jeez.
doesn't look like you have to spend a ton of money, but that 3-pack $80.
It looks like it's like leather, like it's
does,
hide.
yeah.
There's got to be
hide.
competition hacky sacks. Like there's
Yeah, what are the
regulation.
what are the
Professional
pros
grade.
using?
Yeah. I want
want
the
Whoever the Tiger Woods of hacky sack is,
World
if he has his own
champion of-
signature line.
world champ.
Whoa, they're juggling.
they're juggling
hacking.
Okay,
hacking.
that's rude.
No. This is just
That's too
circus
much,
stuff.
dude. Wow.
Oh, okay. There's the guy.
Oh,
on the
look at
right.
this guy.
This dude.
There he
well,
is.
So that's next level. That's
okay.
what we need
Oh my.
to do.
Oh,
See, it's not so.
What would
full.
happen? What would happen if next trip I showed up and I
Dude,
could
And you're like this.
you like every day you've been practicing.
Shit myself, dude.
Every day you've been
Hey,
practicing.
look, he's out in the
He's
out in the
got
woods.
3.
Look
There
at
you
this
go.
guy. Look at this
Yeah.
clown, man. Is he wearing Crocs?
I was
No.
gonna say, what's with his shoes? Are they real flat?
Yeah,
Well, for sure, they're
Jeez.
like skater shoes.
This
Yeah,
dude's juicing.
He's wearing Vans.
They're like dudes.
He's wearing dudes here. Yeah.
Hey, dudes. Wow.
I'm gonna start practicing.
This guy's basically being really good at hacky sack like this guy is a mix between being a juggler and a soccer
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something
A lot of
else.
skill, dude.
So you guys were doing this. This
Wow.
was,
That's
Yeah,
what we
that's
were
exactly
doing.
what
All
we
right. Pretty
looked
close
like.
to what that.
Pretty close.
Except we weren't using our hands.
So what was special about the hacky sack was, and what I think we realized, there was always like one outrageous
Yeah.
save where
Yeah.
like if we got it to like 9 or 12, there was
Right.
one kick that it was out of this world.
Yeah.
like it seemed impossible.
Paul was better doing like the
backside.
heel flip than it was if it was right in front of him.
Yeah.
Like he would do that and he would fly and you're like, what? Like I'd be so shocked I'd miss it.
Yeah.
Like,
we
not
were so
expecting him to
excited
get
that.
that.
There's somebody
Like, how did he
listening.
hit the- oh,
There's somebody listening right now who heard you say 9 or 12, and they're like,
You
9
guys
or 12. You guys-
hey,
Hey,
we were doing like
guys.
A group
2
of
or
6
3.
though. I mean, it was a big group. you know?
We do it twice a year.
No,
Yeah.
not even because
Not
we haven't
even.
hackied on the last several trips.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've kicked that thing around though, where it was like getting it to 3
Yeah.
felt like an
All right,
accomplishment.
we're on our way. We're on our way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
fun.
it really felt like it was entertaining for
Well,
sure.
the first night we were just throwing it around.
Right.
We were
Like
playing
a
catch
ball.
with it.
That's
We're
what I'm
like,
saying.
we
Like,
can't even kick this. Let's just throw it.
yeah, we're like, oh, we're not even going to attempt to even play. Let's just like, because we had a huge field.
It was
so
fun to throw,
We were
though.
like,
Yeah.
what, 30 feet apart from each other?
Yeah,
just
we were
throwing
we were
it
playing
around,
just
40 feet
hucking it.
around. Yeah.
More than 30
sometimes
feet.
a good old game
Yeah.
of catch is just
man.
it just hits
Good
the
old
spot.
game of
Good
catch.
old game of
It
catch.
was
So
nice.
this is funny though. So in the first night,
So we should preface it for anybody that hasn't listened. We are talking about our recent trip.
Oh, yeah.
To Grayson Highlands and
I don't know if you
AT.
can. I
National
don't know if you
Forest.
can. Yeah, I think it's just Jefferson National Forest. We can't really
Yeah.
say that we did a Grayson Highland trip
dipped your
because we
toe.
It
just
was
did.
it was a part of it though.
Grayson's,
did a
I guess
little
Grayson
tip.
Highlands is just more recognizable.
It is,
for
yeah.
people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we saw plenty of horses. So
Oh, tons of horses.
tons of ponies.
Some of our recap here is Pfeiffer did not make the trip,
was not
unfortunately.
here.
So we were reminiscing.
This is the first time that we've seen him since the being back from the trip. This is the first
Yeah.
time we've actually seen all of us since being back from the trip.
That's true.
That's right.
Which was 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
first night we were in like basically like a horse corral. We were in the corral. The horses were outside of it.
That's right.
But it's there's it just it keeps the horses out. They like must congregate in this one area. In fact, I think it said they had like a little board there that had some information. I think during the winter they actually put the horses in that corral so they can kind of like keep tabs. These are wild
That makes
ponies,
sense.
but they're kind of managed.
They're managed. Yeah.
So, anyways, we were doing our thing there, and there's several campsites, and one of the sites some AT thru hikers were there. First of all, I was impressed with how efficient they were with like their tents and their cooking and whatever. And I could tell they were like looking at us throwing the hacky sack around. I couldn't tell if they were probably like these idiots throwing this hacky sack around. And then they started hacking themselves.
We're gonna show them how.
And I don't think they were any better than us.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, they started hacky sacking?
They did hacky sack.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, just very shortly.
I don't know why.
They were on a quick agenda because they went to bed way before us, and then by the time it was like 6 a.m., they were gone.
Out. Yeah.
They were out of there. So that was pretty funny. The juxtaposition of us and them.
There's been like on days where we're like, hey, we got to get moving early. We're out by like 9. We're so slow.
Early
in the morning. It's ridiculous.
Not really early.
Mornings were slow. Well, we knew we had time.
Well, and we're never trying to like crush. We don't
ever wake up with that much of an agenda.
Right.
No.
So early for us is because it's last day out. We want to get on the road early or something. But we're not good in the morning.
Our
not
last day out on Sunday was an hour.
Yeah, we did 3 miles
we crushed.
in an hour, 3.5 miles.
It was so
in an
short.
hour.
And we didn't.
we
didn't rush because we knew that like we were like, it's not going to be that long.
We left at like 9 o'clock or a little past 9 o'clock, and we got to the car at 10:04.
10, it is so
wasn't
quick.
That similar when in Wyoming at the Wind River Range when it wasn't that short?
I mean,
but I remember
kinda.
the way out was just like we had already seen what we came to see.
Yeah,
and
a little bit.
flat.
It was a little
longer.
Stuff
It was
like
long,
that. It was a
yeah.
little bit lengthy.
We
We
had
did 5 miles.
Yeah,
But not a whole lot.
It was efficient.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We were so fast that last day that Paul's watch just flew off his wrist.
Oh, that's right, dude. You didn't find it in your pack at all?
No.
It's gone forever.
No. So hopefully this Father's Day, I get a new one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Hey,
Or if someone is around that area coming out, we'll post maybe a snap bit of where the trail was.
That
Maybe we'll say, hey,
portion
listen,
of the trail was definitely the least traveled of
If
all the
you
sections
find
that we
a
were on.
watch-
That's true.
There was a lot of down trees on that last part. A lot of like traversing around and over
not
down
even,
trees.
not just down tree. I'm talking about huge, massive,
trees. Yeah, big
mature
roots.
trees that like roots, like taller than the ceiling to floor.
It
Like,
must have been
just-
a very old.
It was the hurricane, I bet. that
Well,
blew it
you're
out.
right.
It had to have been.
You're
Yeah.
probably right. I think it was a combination of like old forest on a cliff, like or on a steep decline.
Yeah.
Plus the hurricane just toppling massive old trees over.
Dang.
So yeah, they
Bonkers.
were like huge, like underneath sides of like roots and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And huge boulders under them.
Like
It's pretty
stuck,
insane.
the boulders stuck into the roots.
Yeah, really,
It's
really
wild.
crazy.
yeah. What trees can do to rocks is it's nuts.
Dude, what trees can do, period.
Well,
Because
yeah,
there was a
everything.
few that were like, they were like bent down and like back up to get around something that was probably in its way.
So yeah, what
You remember that one?
Oh,
It was the
I
last
remember
day.
that one, and I think
do.
like from what I can understand with trees is like at some point it was growing towards sunlight, and then either some sort of shade changed or something like that, and it starts going another way to start going to the light another way.
insane.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy how a tree can just do that
Trees, man.
for
and just,
years.
Yeah, and just
to make
break
that bend.
through, rock, and it's like just the power of time. It's like, oh, I'll get you in 20 years. I'll crack through this.
Dude, Paul just pulled up. He just Googled strange tree formations, and the first one he
that one.
Looks like an ass.
No, to the
Hey,
right.
dude, it's just
to the right.
it's cheeked
Down
up.
there.
It is cheeked up, dude. I can't believe that. That's the first one I seen. I'm like, what did he Google? He just Googled
man.
cheeked up trees. Oh my gosh.
Careful what you
course.
Google. This is my computer, okay?
Of course.
Caked up
man.
oak. Gosh. Give me an oak that's just
Oh,
cake.
that is a flaccid
That
tree.
one tree
Yeah.
looks like it's packing a zin in its
Oh,
shape.
man.
This is silly.
The internet is
Wow.
just what
endless,
everything can
bro.
be phallic.
But it was like this, Austin.
It was like that.
It was like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Cool
Looks like a
formation.
llama.
Trees are cool. Nature's awesome. Yeah.
That one
Love
looks like
that.
a field goal. That's insane.
That's so crazy.
Imagine if we were out on the trail and there were a field goal tree. What would we do? We would be kicking over it.
We'd probably have to try to find something to kick over.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You're trying to kick your hacky over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Jeez.
Who's gonna make it? Damn. Well,
Love that.
Is there
That's
anything
cool.
else that you guys had just while we're on the topic of the trip, coming home and having a few days removed? Is there anything else that you kind of realized
Yes.
while you were out?
Paul and I talked about this a little bit. So from what we compared this to a couple different trails that we had done before. And as far as the elevation and the mileage, it's actually more mileage, but I think the same elevation, if not similar to Linville.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I think Linville's more elevation.
I thought that we did the elevation gain and it was about the same.
Maybe because we only did the one side then?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm curious what
For those at home,
'cause I think
Linville Gorge.
I think Linville was like
it still had
9,000 or
plenty of
12,000.
elevation.
Linville
in it.
Gorge in North Carolina is what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
right.
Anyways,
Which we did a few years
I know
ago.
that we like compared it to a few other
Yeah.
places that we had gone, and I gotta say, at the end of this trip, I was insanely fresh.
Search loop.
Yeah, you felt good.
I didn't have a sore bone or muscle on my body.
Okay, here,
Yeah.
I'm going to say
I
this.
did have one little
Is that
stinger
all you
on my
got?
shoulder,
Yeah.
but nothing.
I'm going to say this because you
Yeah, 5,000
you pushed the pace the entire trip.
Did I
The
really?
dude, for I remember like because I was back with Alex and Paul because we were taking some photos and some video and stuff like that. I'm like, is Austin in a rush?
We were moving fast.
What the?
It's
You
good
know
to
what's
know.
crazy though is like I didn't feel like I was going fast.
Dude,
I was in the front the
you
entire
were
time.
crushing the pace the whole time.
I didn't feel like I was. In fact,
all the
I kept
days.
saying like to Nick and Andrew because Andrew has long legs, and I was
Yeah.
like, Andrew, do you want me to like am I going at a good pace? Because I was in my head, I was like, I want to go slower because I want to see things, and he's like, no, you're good. And
Which is funny because you always say that we always
I was-
crush
hey,
the pace
so-
too much.
So
I'm
I'm
glad
gonna go on
somebody.
record and
I'm
say-
glad somebody took my spot as the because you always get on me for going too fast.
I'm gonna blame you guys for all of this.
Hey.
You have conditioned
I wasn't even
me
there.
to try to keep up, and so now I go too fast. It's your fault.
I think it's. I think
guess
it's
we can
just-
take the blame.
I think
I'll
it's
take it.
a little bit habitual at this point of all of us.
No,
I
it's
bet
so
you- I
funny
bet if
because
you-
I in my head I'm
There's
like,
a pace that we just keep naturally at this point,
Yeah.
man,
and
I
if-
didn't
if-
feel
if-
like I was
especially on if it's flat-ish and it's like no, it's
It
just
wasn't.
go time. We're between 1.5 2 miles an hour.
Our elevation gain, excuse me, I had a little bit of a brain fart. Our elevation gain for Linville Gorge, the trip that we did, the out and back and didn't go to the other side, was 6,870 feet of
that's
elevation
more
gain.
than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's more than I thought.
Because we did like 5,000 this trip.
Yeah, I think it was about.
Okay.
Yeah, 51 maybe.
Either way, I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt like I wasn't sore. Like I didn't have any
Honestly,
issues.
I started getting more and more like at a good physical space the longer the trip went. Like
Yeah.
the last day, I was flying like all over the place and like it felt really good. The first day I didn't feel great, and then the second day and third day I felt fine.
Honestly, I think
But-
not being there. I think part of it too is just
Hey man, you weren't there.
hey, I wasn't there. I
Can't comment. All right.
Bye.
Gonna go kick the hacky sack.
No, that's ours.
No, is you three especially, pack weight makes a big difference. You guys have all dialed in so tight on that.
Yeah, actually,
And
the
but
pack
I mean, you
felt
would have been
okay.
heavy
You
because
guys
you
are
had a lot
heavy,
of film stuff.
It was pretty
Brian
normal,
brought a camera, so he had more weight.
I had more
Okay,
weight
maybe
than,
not.
than I ever
Yeah.
did this time. Yeah.
I just feel like the
My
ones
food
where
bag
we've hurt a lot, the ones I remember hurting a lot, and like being sore from, it was a combination of hard trail, though by our standards now, not very hard. Like even Loyal Sock now wouldn't be considered
Yeah,
hard.
I don't think so.
And
It would be. I'd be curious to go back and do it.
yeah, but
I
it
hate that trail so much though. It is so boring. There's nothing on that trail.
Hey,
On
we
the
just
other-
have
We've
to do
talked
it
about
when
this
it's
so
green.
many times. I know it wasn't
Dude,
green.
I
It
just
was all
wasn't-
brown the whole way.
poop.
But what I'm saying is the
I'd
difference.
rather walk in CVP.
The difference, I think, is more gear related than like
Maybe
you
a little
think.
bit. I mean, like, yeah, our packs are different, and it's
Yeah,
it
but
is-
every shoes, the pack itself, whether it's more weight or not, I think it's
I've been in Lone Peaks for
you're dialed
almost the whole time.
I think part of it is that, but I think also like even though we don't go like every weekend with a pack like that on our back, I think that we've probably learned how to wear our packs better,
Yeah.
how to
That
shift
might-
our
put our
weight
shit
around,
in our pack better.
how to pack
How to
better,
pack
whether
better.
it's
That
not
might-
just the
that
weight.
might be what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
more than the gear itself.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, man, look at Loyal
Worn-
Sock.
you've
Look at
worn
out,
stuff in.
Look at out.
Yeah.
Paul's
It
pulling
looks
up
pre- it
pictures.
looks pretty cool.
It's not.
You would
not.
No
you
one
would
go
appreciate it if we went back.
I will say, speaking of our
Eh.
trip and like boring,
The second day was boring.
because you know why? The moment we got off of that one trail and hit the AT, everything opened up.
Yeah,
you can
the AT
tell
was nice.
what was so special about the AT.
Yeah.
This was an example of like, because we were on both AT and non-AT, of how special the AT really is. There was, this is dumb because I don't really believe in this stuff, but there was definitely kind of like an energy in a way,
For sure.
where you can tell you were on
There's
that.
energy.
But I think it's more of just like the you can tell how like
Austin started
well
carrying
traversed it
rocks.
is.
I was gonna say the crystals.
He got some crystals.
Yeah,
right around
crystal
the-
over
I got
here.
a crystal on the AT, some schist or
It was
whatever.
awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
But yeah, you could tell.
We had a shaman bless it too.
Yeah, some schist. No, it was beautiful.
But even then, like, I think I was looking back at photographs though, and like day 2, while it might not have been in comparison to the best parts of the trail, yes, it was not that great. But in a vacuum, like looking at the photographs, it was actually pretty cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're cool with just like going hiking around the forest, it was great. The forest was nice. There wasn't really anything crazy. I mean, there were a lot of down trees. I would say the sections that we were on that second day, people weren't traveling on a ton.
Huge. It wasn't as
That was
wasn't maintained
that was
as well.
definitely a big discrepancy between AT and not, because
Yeah.
obviously the AT is traveled.
Right.
You could tell. In fact, we commented on when we started on Saturday. Friday night there was a huge thunderstorm. We were in a shelter, fortunately, because it was insane thunderstorm. And everything was still wet, but it wasn't raining when we started on that day. And we were like anticipating we're gonna have a muddy trail, but the AT is so like packed
Yeah.
from people walking
Just
on
rolled
it
off.
that it just like rolled off. It
Yeah.
was like really like hard
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
At
Really
least the
nice.
section
Really
of
muddy.
the AT we were on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
I'm sure
interesting.
that there are parts of the AT that are also boring. I'm sure that there are parts of the AT that are like, a little bit more muddy. I've seen some sections and stuff like that, but like the sections we were on, dude, just absolutely incredible. They were incredible.
real nice.
So
Yeah.
speaking of that, whoa, voice just died.
It's the puberty that's happening
Yeah.
again.
Finally,
Welcome to high school.
Finally.
So you guys had some weather, and I will say,
Yeah.
so I was bummed that I couldn't go. And back home here in Northeast Ohio,
Yeah.
we were just getting destroyed. So I knew
Well, you guys
storms-
lost power.
Right, storms were
So did
coming
we.
through. We had 2 of the nights that I think you guys were out. My town had the sirens go off. We went in the
Yeah.
basement for tornado warnings and all
Wow.
that stuff. And the one night I had a tree in my backyard fall, and I was looking at the radar, and I kept looking down to where you guys were at, and I was like, man, and I knew you guys were kind of on the edge, so I knew you weren't in like, oh, I got to get rescued kind of situation, but I was like, you guys are probably getting hit, so I know I texted you guys, and that one night, so it was funny to hear that. I'm glad you guys stayed dry during the day, but that one
Yeah.
night that was bad for us, you guys were getting destroyed.
yeah.
we got wrecked.
Yeah, it was pretty
It was
pretty
that
rough.
Friday.
Was that a Friday?
Friday
Yeah.
night.
Friday
yeah.
night.
It was
Destroyed,
Saturday.
yeah.
because I mean, I was just like, it woke me in my house. It woke me up out of my sleep.
Dude,
like,
it was
I will
so,
say
in
this.
my
it
home.
was so loud.
We were
on
like
that metal
right
roof,
all
dude.
like quiet, about to fall asleep, and then
yeah.
like
It sounded
because
like
you're in a
machine
shelter,
guns.
so
Yeah.
like tin roof.
I
Yeah.
have a big maple out front, and actually that night we didn't get any sirens or anything for like tornadoes, but my wife, Steph, God bless her, she she grew up in Puerto Rico, and weather, she has a very keen sense of weather when it's getting pretty
She
nasty.
feel it.
She just knows, and she like, I woke up and she was just at the window looking out. She's like, "We need to go downstairs," and I'm like, "Okay." And so because the maple out front is a huge tree that if it fell on our house, we would just be done.
You wreck it. Yeah, we've got one like
was
that in
just
ours.
going nuts.
Ugh.
Like it was
like
crazy.
Yeah,
I
I've
hate
seen
that.
this before.
And she's like, "We're gonna
Hate
go on the
that.
first floor with the kids," and I'm like, "So we
Yeah.
picked everybody up and went down." And that's the night a smaller tree in the back fell into our yard. But yeah, I was thinking about you guys. I'm like, man, it's
It would
this
have,
bad down there.
in hindsight, of course, I keep thinking to myself, man, it would have been a good tent test.
Oh, dude, I was just gonna say that. It would have been a
Well,
good tent test.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would have been curious to see how that
I
would
would
have
have too, because I had a new tent. You had a new tent.
yeah,
You had a new-ish
I haven't
tent.
put it through that level
Yeah.
of
Not
rain.
like that.
I would
I
have
would
been
have been
curious to see how it
curious.
did. All
Yeah.
of them.
But I also don't want to, you know what they
Don't
say,
wanna
you
f- around
around and find out.
yeah. Honestly, dude.
Hey, man, I would. It would have been cool. I don't. Yeah.
Maybe
in a
instead
bad
of that,
way.
just go in your backyard and get the
The hose out.
Yeah,
We'll just do that.
see, have your
That's the
kid
move.
just spray it while you just lay in there, and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty dry. This
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Crazy.
So
lot of
I was
water.
glad, not that I thought you would need a rescue. You guys ready for the segue? Glad you guys didn't need a rescue, but I read a funny article
Oh, yeah, that's
about a
right.
rescue
Yeah.
since you guys have been home. And wanted to bring it up. I know this isn't an articles episode, but I thought it was funny.
Hey, it's a campfire conversation. We
Yeah.
can
That's
talk
right.
about whatever you
So,
want.
That's right.
and of course, I don't have it in front of me, so I forget even the trail that they were on. But yeah, there was a rescue call in for a hiker that had died, or at least that's what was called into the officials. So they went out expecting to find a body, and they found 2 hikers of a group of 3 that were just tripping. You know what?
They were on some shrooms.
On some shrooms. They were off their asses, just completely
Oh my God.
high as kites. And they thought their third friend had died, who I guess he'd either gotten lost or something. I don't know. He was out there somewhere. He's
Yeah.
fine. So they found the third hiker and got everybody in. But it was just an interesting little story. It's funny until you think about it, and I realize I'm a little
Yeah,
bit
like
pissed
the
off.
effort that it took.
It
Yeah.
did take a lot of effort. Yeah.
So there's a moral in this.
With
that,
all the parks
you
not
know,
having a ton of extra effort.
right. And
Shroom
it was
responsibly is
Yeah.
the moral of the story.
It was on Backpacker. It was on
Shroom
or outside one of those.
So,
But
I-
it was, don't be idiots. But I thought it was, I'm glad nobody was hurt, but it was
Right.
in a
amusing
similar
story.
vein, I don't know if I sent it to you guys at one point or not. Maybe I did. There was a guy who joined a search party.
Yeah, we've talked
we
about
talked
this.
about this.
There's
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
And he
this is the
realized
find
they were
yourself.
looking for him.
It was him the whole time.
Because Austin, you did this in an articles episode
Yeah.
last year or something.
really? Yeah.
And then it happened again.
Oh,
again?
another one?
Oh my
This
god!
is a different
someone recent.
situation.
That's
How crazy.
crazy.
And that's
dude.
not.
Like, oh shit, that's me.
That's
I'm
not.
right here.
Yeah, that's not drug related. I don't think. You
No.
know,
It's
just like-
which you know what? Now that okay, I can understand. Well, I think I can understand how that
Yeah,
can happen.
who are you
right
looking
here.
for?
Yeah,
a guy that
His
looks
name's like-
just like you.
Bill
Yeah.
Smith. That's weird. My name is Bill Smith.
What a coincidence!
Speaking of Bill,
yeah.
you're watching. Bill, subscribe.
Bill.
Like,
Is it
like
Bill
it.
this time?
A lot of,
And
yeah,
Smithy.
Bill. We see you, Bill.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, those
That's
stories
crazy.
are amusing.
So trip responsibly and just pay attention to
So,
the name of the
and
person
actually-
that you're looking for.
and here's-
just in case it's you.
And here's the okay. So I don't partake in that product at all. Don't have a desire to. But those who do, not judging.
Seems like you have a little bit of a
Why?
judgy
No,
tone.
just do. I would be absolutely terrified to put myself in that bring myself to that mental state or get that out of control while I'm out.
yeah,
and
that would
even
be.
if
Well,
that
I
would
feel
be a
like
little
I
nervous.
feel like that's what a lot of people. That's when they like to do it.
But I would be
out in
terrified.
nature. Out in nature. Yeah,
That's
you would
insane.
have to. I would say like if you're like a seasoned pro,
right.
of partaking,
even then.
maybe,
The
but
mushroom
like,
king.
yeah, like, dude, you do have to like recognize that it
Yeah.
may not always go as well as you think it's gonna go, and
Too many variables.
Yeah, I agree.
Too much
Yep.
could go wrong.
Trip and fly responsibly, guys.
Yeah, it.
That's all we say. I don't know. We don't say that ever.
Yeah,
So that's what we're
that's-
saying now.
saying
We're
it now.
saying it now.
It's the new bottle of the podcast. I guess.
So, so after our backpacking trip, I've actually been camping since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know you were going out this week.
you know
Yeah,
what?
you didn't tell anyone.
That's because it was a father-son trip. No,
That's okay.
It was a one-nighter, right? I just took my 4-year-old son out to West Branch. Funny enough, I picked a campsite that we had stayed at before. Actually, that we did in March.
Yeah.
we did an episode from there, a car camping episode. I pulled up to the campsite and I was like, "Is this the same one? It looks completely different."
Yeah.
but it was just because it was green.
You could-
Yeah.
But it really changed everything about that campsite. It's awesome.
Could you see the water that
A
was
little bit,
behind
yeah.
us
We still like we were
Yeah.
able to actually like walk down and like go and see it, and like we hung out there. Actually, when we were it's not a big space, but it's really isolated from like trees and bushes and
Yeah,
stuff like
good
that. So like
coverage.
you can hear other campsites, but you can't really see too many of them, which
That's
is kind of
nice.
cool.
Were there a lot of-
I like being isolated when I car camp.
Were there a lot of people out while you were there?
Nah, maybe half fill.
Oh, really?
But it was
Yeah.
Thursday to Friday,
Yeah,
so
that's
not
true.
weekend.
Yeah.
We're not quite in the everybody's out of school yet. But
That's awesome.
But
Did,
so we were able to actually go down to where that water was that was right there. And while we were like hanging out, like skipping rocks and stuff like that, some jet skis came into the cove and like and like did donuts and like left, and we were like, "Whoa, that was sweet."
Oh, neat.
But no, it was the first time just me and my son, just the two of us out.
Nice.
Did you have the camper?
I did not. No,
No,
we
just tented
did
it?
the tent,
Tented, sweet.
which was nice. So like we made hot dogs. He had a s'more. You know,
Nice.
we had a fire. He was loving it. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
did a little hike as well. So it was fun. It was a good time.
That spot was good, and that sunset over that lake was awesome.
It
Yeah,
was
Insane.
really
it was
nice.
so good.
That's
Yeah,
that's a beautiful.
we attempted to see
spot.
it again. It wasn't quite as spectacular when we were there, but it was still.
Yeah.
So I love that little spot down by the rocks.
Yeah, that
we
little
hung out
rock
there for a
area.
while,
It's cool.
so
Yeah.
that was sweet. The raccoons were brave,
Were they?
dude. So
We didn't have that problem the last time.
we didn't have that last time. Maybe it was
Yeah.
too
Yeah,
cold.
they were
They were huddled
nine.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were like just about to like go head into bed, and one came like within 3 feet of us at the campfire. And I was like, "Get out of here!" Like, whatever. So like normal car camping, I put food in the in our car.
Yeah.
I had the cooler out, but it's like a nice big cooler with locks and everything like that, so no biggie. I just had like a couple bins, no food in them, just bins out, locked bins.
Yeah.
And at 4 a.m., I just hear and I hear like scurrying away. I come out and one of my bins is just opened on the ground with stuff everywhere. I'm like, there
damn.
wasn't even
Rascals.
food in there.
They've got thumbs.
There was no Twinkies in there. What are you doing? So
Where's
I,
the cream filling?
At that point, I just put everything in the car because I'm like, they were all together, so it
Yeah.
didn't take long. But I was like, all right, I'm not dealing with this again. It's already 4 a.m. But yeah, the raccoons are friendly and brave in that area.
Have you guys ever? I want to say at Ohio Pile, we had an experience where there was like an animal outside our tent. Anyone ever had that before?
Not
Where,
that I
we
can-
we could hear it like around the tent, and I'm assuming it was a raccoon.
I'm still convinced when we were at Perry on the dam, when we camped on the dam. That was Perry, right?
Yeah.
I'm still convinced something was rustling through my stuff. I never
Really?
saw it. Yeah, because I remember at the middle of the night, early hours in the morning, something was just moving.
Like you
I don't remember
outside your
anything.
tent?
Yeah, because it was.
Yeah?
I think I had my. Pretty sure I had my pack in the garbage bag, so you can hear it. Like you
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah.
And
That was me.
it was either me dreaming or something was just, like doing stuff. And I remember I just froze because I was like, bear me dead.
I
Like,
will say
I was so dead
I will
asleep.
say when
that's,
you're
you know.
when you're asleep and you
Yeah.
wake up to a noise that's like
Your brain
very
goes-
clearly close by,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
your brain goes to some crazy places.
I'm surprised I haven't heard anything with the little sleep that I do get on the trail. Cause like I'm constantly like kind of rustling around and like kind of like I've never heard anything.
Oh yeah. So
good
to
for
answer,
you,
to
Brian.
answer your question, no, I've not ever seen anything. That's
Yeah.
that's the closest.
I mentioned this on the pod in a previous episode, but when I took the family camping for the first time, the first night,
Oh yeah.
an animal not far from us just wailing in the middle of the
Yeah,
night, just
yeah.
Yeah.
for like 45
It
minutes.
was getting eaten alive.
and then it
Yeah.
just stopped. It was like consistent for like 40 minutes at like
That's
3
when
or
it
4 in the
blacked out
morning,
and
and then it was
died.
gone.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's,
what it was. Probably a fox or something.
Oof.
It was insane, but yeah, it was good to take the boy out and have a trip. He had a ball. My goal is this summer to take. I have 3 kids. To take each of them out solo, just
Yeah.
with me for at least one night. You know,
That's cool.
So that
That's
was the
cool.
first one.
Mason's been asking about going backpacking. I think I might take him on an overnighter.
That'd be sweet.
Penny
Yeah.
wants to do one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I'm
should
gonna
go out
just
together.
carry them.
Take the kids.
Yeah.
In.
Carry the most of the weight, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I get him a little pack
I think
to-
you could
to have-
you could do it pretty comfortably
have
one night.
carry his
I can't
food or
remember
something.
if we've researched this before, but does the Buckeye Trail have like dispersed camping on it, or is it like
I
specific
think there's
spots?
more camping near us than we think there is.
Because like whenever we've done
backpacking
this
camping?
research,
No, it'd be good for a kid because it wouldn't. There's more camping near us than we think, but doesn't work for us because it'd be
The
like
distance
2
wouldn't be
miles.
enough, yeah.
Like
Right.
we wouldn't be able to make an actual weekend out of it. But there's opportunity around us for like a kid trip. I know that. I just haven't. I haven't looked into like planned a specific trip around it yet.
I mean, I know that in
especially
Southern
down,
Ohio.
yeah, especially down when you get southern.
Southern
and,
Ohio, there is multi-night.
It opens up a lot. There's even there's one of the major federal trails that dips into Ohio and down through near Cincinnati and then comes back up. I forget which one it is, but it's we have a major trail that goes through.
So Paul is looking up camping on the Buckeye Trail. I feel like the Buckeye Trail is going to be your best bet to be able to do like dispersed camping, even if you just want to do like a couple miles in and do it that route.
Put dispersed in front of camping, Paul, and see if it gives you that, because that's really what you're looking for. Because it's
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because there could be campgrounds and stuff like that. I know that there are some.
There's definitely Man,
it's okay. You don't need to worry about your spellings, dude.
We won't call you out on your horrible spelling. Don't worry. You're not just terrible at spelling. I promise.
Wow. Love you. Man.
We'll cut all that out, Paul.
Please do.
We won't have any of that in here. It doesn't.
Yeah, dispersed camping along the Buckeye Trail in Ohio is possible.
Dispersed. DIS. Dispersed.
What did I say?
You got it.
That's right.
You got it right.
Okay,
Actually, you did get it right, so I was right. You don't suck at spelling.
But it's not permitted everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so at least there's
there's
spots. You could probably do your research and find a good place on the Buckeye Trail. So it's a pretty huge trail.
Yeah.
Which I'd like to do actually, because I mean, it's crazy that we live in Ohio and we've done all this backpacking and we've never actually
I've done
camped.
a lot of stuff.
I'd
in
like to do
CDMP,
more like
but-
day hikes, like long full day hikes around the area.
I did ask a question. I want to go back to real quick about is there anything after the fact of being off the trail? And I remember we mentioned it a little bit in from the trail episode, but after being removed from it a little bit more, and I've thought about it a little bit more, I would 100% be into it. Really, just figuring out sections of the AT that we can
for
backpack.
Sure. Yeah.
One trip a year. We just do a point to point and try to knock off sections of the AT.
We do need to bite the bullet and do a freaking point to point. Like we've talked about doing it a lot. I know it'll be more coordination.
There's a lot, yeah.
It's
with
just
cars
we
and stuff
gotta
like
do
that.
it. We gotta do it.
You
at
did
Harper's Ferry.
at Harper's Ferry.
That doesn't count though.
I agree.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we weren't there.
Sorry.
I agree.
You were the only one there, so
Paul
it
was
doesn't count.
When you don't even have a quorum, when there's not at least 3 of us there, it does not count.
Agree.
For what?
Harper's Ferry. Point to point.
It doesn't count.
He's like,
Didn't count.
Alex was like, guys, we have been to Banff. No, guys, we have been to Yellowstone. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
It was cool. The logistics were not as bad.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be okay. I
Yeah,
really
I think we just gotta
would
do it.
start like to highlight sections of the AT
Yeah,
off.
we
the-
talked
the
about it
map.
when we were on the trail that it would be really sweet to start hitting sections. I mean, I told you guys like my grandpa Bob. I think he did most of the AT, if not all of it, in different sections. So
Yeah.
like he didn't do it all in one go, but like him and other people that he hiked with at the Cleveland Hiking Club had finished, the whole AT.
So here's a request. If you're listening and you've done the AT or done parts of it, send in a section that you loved.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
that'd be
say
great.
Grayson Highlands and
the
Mount
Whites,
Washington.
the Whites.
Well, dude, no one loves no one loves hiking in the Whites. It's
Right.
just a part that you
It's
have to
awesome.
do. It is
Yeah.
great. I mean, it is very intense, but
But yeah, send in parts that you loved.
yeah,
Because we can. I would like to do that. That'd be good.
I would love to
That'd
just
be fun.
knock it off in section
Make-
hike. I
make
mean,
a-
we've
Alright, so-
done a good
sections.
amount.
So we're into this episode at this point. We're now like
45?
we've got
44?
We've got time to talk.
Sure.
We've got another trip coming up this year.
We do.
We do. Have we figured out what we're doing?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And my friend,
section hike the AT?
well, you're talking about it, so I'm asking. Does anybody have any trails on their mind that are
No.
starting to
mean,
excite them?
I haven't had time to think about a trail since
Yeah.
getting off of the last one.
There's candidates from the last the batch we
few,
reviewed
yeah.
for
Yeah,
before we
that's
selected.
true.
There's
Grayson
always a
that were
couple.
always good. But no, not specifically.
Yeah, nothing specifically. Yeah, I'm trying to coordinate other parts of my life at this point, but I'm into it. I'm into talking about it and researching it.
Paul, what is this map that you
Gotta
have
put it
up
on my
here?
to-do
Did
list.
Did it break it
Is
down
it
into
breaking
sections?
it out into sections? Yeah.
Yeah, and you can kind of.
This is the Appalachian
Interesting.
Trail Conservatory website. It has an interactive map.
I like that.
That's cool.
That's neat.
I'm curious. Yeah.
I would
how
like
it-
to.
How many
Right.
sections
Down.
do they chunk it out into? 92.
No, dude, there's probably a lot.
Actually,
But,
wonder
like
what-
some of those
I
aren't.
feel like 92 is a good guess.
I wonder how they.
I think.
I wonder how they break them down, or for what criteria.
Let's
Distance
count them
wise.
on air. That'd be
That's
really
riveting.
fun.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
Super interesting.
Yeah, it looks like the Appalachian Trail Conservatory website has an interactive map, and it has. Oh yeah, this is pretty detailed. That's pretty cool.
Does it tell you how
Oh,
many
this is the
miles?
Mount Rogers right here.
Oh yeah, look at
Hey,
that.
there you go.
Hey,
Let me zoom in on you.
look at that.
Hey, we did some of that.
We did some of that. Look at that. This is some really
That's
good
cool.
Googling.
I'm gonna go look at this. This is neat.
I mean, honestly, I think if we do some of these, we really try to get
Grey's
we do
Anatomy.
wake up at 6 a.m. and we get on the trail
Huff.
and we try to do 20 miles.
I
in
would
a
love to
day.
do that. Yeah, try to
Just like
delete
really
some
challenge
miles.
ourselves.
Simulate it. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Or not simulate.
So I
actually
will
do it.
say this: we haven't
VR.
Yeah.
we haven't done a crazy challenge trip in a while.
know. I'd be into it.
We've been. What do I say? We're not being
Although
lazy.
I will say the Cirque was a lot.
A little bit, yeah. It would, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would bring this whole I would probably just bring a GoPro, like just try to be as light as I could be.
I mean, if we're going in knowingly, like we want to do it.
light.
You
Do it as if
you
we were
actually
through
left
hiking?
your film camera behind and only
I
brought
did.
one camera.
I would do that, but
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
still bring my camera.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, at that point,
Get
You're
light
so
and
used to
quick.
it.
light and quick.
Yeah, I like this. We should definitely at least look into it. Whether we do it in September or not, we'll decide. But
Yeah.
do we know the group that's coming? In? Do we know who's going? Yeah, it's a
Lightweight.
smaller group.
Yeah, Nick is not going. I
Nick
am
can't
not
go.
going.
Paul
Yeah.
can't go.
I'm not quite sure yet. I'm
You're not
still. I still got to figure out some dates and stuff
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
he's going. He's going.
He's going.
He don't do one.
He's gonna do
Here you
two.
go. Yeah.
He gonna do two. He's going to two. Yeah, no,
it
I'll
might
be
just
there.
be it might just be us three and Greg.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Ooh,
I
Mike's
hope-
not,
well,
Mike's not
I'm-
going.
Mike's,
Listen.
Mike's going. Mike's
Yeah,
going.
I want. I listen.
You're going.
I would love to be there. I'm
He's done.
trying to go. There's just some back to back weeks that are going on that are tough. So
Yeah.
we'll see though.
You know what's gonna be really tough is me putting you in a bag and just putting you in the car.
Carry on.
Hard
Carry
time,
on.
Dude,
throwing
honestly,
in the
do
trunks.
that because that's a great excuse.
Yeah.
What the happened to Austin?
I got
He was
kidnapped.
kidnapped.
I legitimately got
We'll have
kidnapped.
Yeah.
that
Well,
by, by
won't-
Sunday.
Lisa won't be mad at us for that.
Lisa
have
doesn't care.
I
It's
have
more
a,
of,
I have a big
other
ass
things.
duffel bag. I could probably fit
I
you
do
in.
too. I does mine as rollers. So we
Oh,
can-
perfect. 'cause I don't have rollers
nice.
on
Yeah,
this one.
we'll
I would
use
have to
mine.
carry him.
Yeah, we'll use mine.
Yeah. Okay. Deal. Well, it's all figured out.
We
just need
solved
duct
that.
tape out. We just need duct tape and chloroform. It's fine.
Oh, we were going to go all the way. Okay. I guess I'm in for it.
Right, hey,
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
down.
Do you have the chloroform?
No, I can get
I've
it.
got duct tape. It got too real. Sorry, Austin.
Yeah, it's all right. Hey, if you need anything else, let me know. I'll help
Yeah, I was gonna
provide.
say,
it, you know.
at least we're planning this in front of you, so you're aware.
Yeah, you've got time to prepare.
We're playing it in front of everybody. Actually.
Yeah, right. Everyone's gonna know.
Yeah. All the millions of people.
What evidence do you have against my client for this kidnapping?
Exhibit
Well,
A.
they
Exhibit A.
talked about it on a podcast for 45 minutes.
And they literally did it exactly the same way they described
They
it.
planned it out. They videotaped it, put it
Yeah.
on the internet,
Circumstantial.
and did it 4 months later.
Objection.
It's funny.
We're not gonna do it.
Seeing all of this, seeing how long this trail
It's
is.
long, dude.
It's long.
Oh my gosh.
It is long.
The Appalachian Trail is a
Yep.
lot of miles.
Yep. Yep.
How long is the Buckeye Trail? Just for frame of reference.
I mean, we did 30 miles 2
The
weeks
Buckeye
ago.
Trail's pretty long.
Does it go around the entire state?
It does, yeah.
Nice. I mean, that's got to be.
Look at that, dude.
Today's Sunday, right?
Paul.
I think either today or yesterday was the Buckeye 50K. Maybe
Was
I'm
it?
wrong.
All you got to
Buckeye
do is
Trail
chat
50K.
GPT.
Yeah, I know. Why are we looking on
I'm gonna
websites?
do it.
Why
for
did
you.
we even
Why,
hire Paul?
this is like going back to the library after the internet was
Come on,
invented.
Paul
Like,
PT.
It's going.
You got to get with the times, Paul. Research is done totally different. You just trust a robot.
Adjust your antennas.
Yeah, man. Get the beer
It's
cans off the tower.
1,444
Dude,
Four
that's
miles.
substantial. That's a substantial.
I was behind, and I tied him.
That's a lot of miles.
So it's half the AT. Well, a little more. I
That's
think.
more
A little more than
More
half.
than
That's
half.
pretty substantial. Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I mean, it's across the whole state.
Well, it's around there.
Around the
It's
whole state, I should say.
circumference.
Almost the perimeter.
Yeah, that's neat.
We have
Man, a lot of that would be flat.
Yeah, it would be super
Very
flat.
Roll and a quarter.
So we have a friend of the pod who is going to attempt a new through hike this.
Oh, that's right.
This month in June. Our friend Sparks, who we
Sparks!
interviewed way back before we had video. Sparks is a friend of ours who did the AT, did the whole AT, did a through hike there. She is going to start the Continental Divide Trail.
It's awesome.
Nice.
I thought it was. I
awesome.
thought she was doing the PCT for some reason.
No.
Continental Divide.
CDT.
Nice.
Continental Divide. So from Canada to Mexico, should be pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Good luck on that. It's gonna be
3,000
awesome.
miles.
yeah. So
Whoa.
Wow.
what's interesting
Long.
about this?
Holy
so
shit.
Sparks is a badass
Yeah,
because
she is.
she had a group of friends who were ready to do this, and all of them bailed. But she's like, I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
Like when you're she's in like her mid-20s. When you're that age. It's like, I got to do this now. I can't wait a year. I can't wait
Sure,
2 years.
right.
You don't know what your life's going to look like. It's
Right.
time to do it now. But she's also like very well equipped to do it by herself. Plus, although only 200 people finish this trail every year, she's also a black belt.
She'll whoop
in
your ass.
some form of
Damn.
martial arts. She actually just got her black belt in some sort of
Nice.
martial arts. I don't remember specifically which one, but she also like grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
So, best of luck to Sparks because
Absolutely.
that is quite an
That's an
undertaking.
accomplishment.
It
We
is
should.
pretty intense.
I'm assuming she's gonna document in some way.
Yeah.
Kind of like she did
Try
with
to keep
AT.
tabs on
So
we should try to keep tabs.
She had a blog that she did. I think Balloon Rider was her name, but her trail name is Sparks. So I'm sure she'll be blogging.
We'll do a Sparks tracker
so-
on the
so-
Sparks
Yeah.
tracker.
podcast.
What is the
Absolutely. Every episode will be like, "Hey, where's Sparks?"
Yeah,
That'd be great.
What does
Yeah.
the
That'd
CDT
be
go
awesome.
through, Paul? Can you find us? I'm just.
It goes through the United States.
Yeah, so Montana,
Montana,
Such an idiot.
Idaho, Wyoming, Denver, and
Colorado, and then New
Oh,
Mexico.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're not that many states, but it's huge.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going through a lot of
big-
parts.
Dude, look
Yeah.
at like the
a lot
that
of big
huge
states.
section through like Wyoming.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Which-
the Grand
oh,
Tetons.
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Dude,
that's
some
of the-
awesome.
What she's going through is going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude. Some of the crap you're gonna go through on that is
Probably
Dang.
some
Glacier.
Yellowstone, some
be intense.
Is the are the
Rocky
wind-
Mountains.
Are the winds part of that by chance? Were we on any of that when we went to Wyoming?
I don't think we were on any of the sections that were on there, but we were near it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
we're,
look
we
at
were close to the Tetons.
You've got Yellowstone, you've got Grand Tetons, you've got
wow.
Rocky Mountain National Park, and then dude, look at how much is in New Mexico. That is
lot.
going to be some hot hiking. I mean,
Yeah.
that's again why you start now in June, and you're probably ending in October.
Was she going?
But it's still going to be hot.
Is she going north or south? She's going
You go north to south.
north to south.
When you do this, you do north to south. So
Is
you
she
start,
out now?
No, she
doing it
leaves
next
in
year?
2 weeks.
Oh,
Wow.
damn.
Yeah,
That's
no.
quick, man.
Yeah, she starts in the middle of June. So
We got to get the Sparks tracker up and running quick.
Man, I wonder if we
We'll,
can,
hey, next episode she'll maybe no, not next episode, but the episode after next, she'll be out. She'll be out on trail, and we'll track her, and yeah, we'll keep it going.
yeah,
That's
man.
awesome. Well, good luck, Sparks.
Good luck,
We know you're
Sparks.
going to do
yeah,
awesome.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, man.
That's
Wow.
great.
Well, let's finish it off on that, I guess, and we'll just cap this episode off. This campfire conversation.
So it goes through 3 national parks. This is what I wanted to look at.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's Glacier,
Glacier.
Yellowstone, and Rocky Mountain National
Okay.
Park.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Man,
Wow.
so she's got to be really bear prepared.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Well,
Whoa.
she's
That's
also.
crazy cool.
I don't know if she talked about this on the episode that we interviewed her, but she was talking about, you know, people were like, "Oh, there are rattlesnakes on the thing," and they're like, "Well, at
Yeah.
least you can hear it." And she's like, "Guys, I'm mostly deaf."
Oh, yeah,
she's
yeah.
actually mostly deaf.
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh yeah," like, so she's like, "I gotta like look out for rattlesnakes, you know,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna hear them." So
Yeah.
pretty crazy, but yeah, we'll keep an
Is
eye
she
on
going?
Sparks.
So she's going totally solo.
She's starting solo, but
Starting
again,
solo.
you know how
You'll get
Yeah,
to
yeah,
meet
you
up with the trail family or something.
because that's what happened with her on the AT. Is she
Right.
started with her sister. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
her sister had to bow out early, and she already had a group and finished with a
Yeah.
group. So,
Yeah.
she's doing
With
it.
some real characters based on.
Yeah, she
her
had some good
stories. She had
stories.
some good
Yeah.
stories.
I'm sure
Some
there's
folks-
always characters.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What was the? Hold on. What was the name? The trail name of the dude that
Three
we?
packs.
3 packs.
No.
that we met.
I'm sorry. We met a guy.
Was
a
it like
thru-hiker.
wingsuit?
Was it wingsuit? It
think
was
it was
wingsuit. Yeah, we
sure.
met a thru hiker when we were in Grayson Highlands, but not Grayson Highlands.
Yeah.
When we were on the AT.
When we were on the
Yeah.
AT, very
There you
good.
go.
And he was by himself. So actually, one quick
I
little
think
note
it
about
was
that.
wingsuit.
So we were on the AT about the same time, actually during the same time as Trail Days.
Yeah.
The festival was
Yeah,
going on.
that's
right, that's
Which
right.
is a
For the
huge
AT.
hub
Yeah.
for thru hikers. It's a huge festival. It's pretty sweet.
We're gonna be there next year.
We're gonna try to be there next year for sure. But they were like,
Saying it.
well, they were.
Yes.
It's
All right.
like
It'd
a
be
good.
awesome.
It's a good 30, 40
It was 30
miles.
I think it was 30 miles.
30
So
miles where
we
were.
we were expecting like a lot of them to be there, a lot of the thru hikers to be there and not see a lot of them. But the ones that we did see, they were like, I'm not messing with those crowds.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be crowded getting
Yeah.
out of there, like trying to find places. And the one guy, I think his name was Wingsuit. Good luck, Wingsuit, on
Yeah.
your trip.
Nice, dude.
He was like, I'm not messing with any of that. We're like,
He's like,
dude,
I'm not
go."
gonna fight with any of those people.
And then
I'm
he was
gonna
talking
solo.
about how he had a friend who was coming into Roanoke to
that's
start
right, that's the
hiking with
guy.
him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, my buddy got the dates wrong, and if I don't get there in like 9 days, it's like on the pace that he was going, it would be like probably 14 days. He's like, I got to get there in 8 or 9 days, so I'm booking it.
I think he
We
had
were
to do
"Good
like
luck."
25
He had a lot to
miles
do.
plus a day.
More, yeah,
Dang.
just about that or more. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm going through here. I'm waking up and doing a huge day tomorrow. I'm like crazy.
I have
dude.
to imagine that where we stayed, what was it? Scales Campground.
Scales.
I have to imagine that after trail days,
That
that
place
it's
is packed. I'm sure.
It is a zoo, I bet, dude.
Dude, for sure. Well, there was another campsite that we did not stay at that was massive. It was really widespread and
Yeah.
huge areas. It was really open. It would probably be like crazy windy,
I'll
but
bet
like,
it's a zoo there.
That's a zoo
Yeah,
after trail days.
That, oh my gosh.
Crazy.
But I bet that's a neat. It's like going to a festival.
Right.
Yeah.
It is,
It has to
honestly.
be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Well, we'll be
Awesome.
there next year, so you guys can come hang out with us next year at Trail Days.
Well, good luck, Sparks, and
Good luck, Sparks.
Wingsuit.
Yeah.
Which at this point, hopefully, you've made
He's
your
probably-
target. 'cause-
Yeah, in Roanoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully.
Hopefully you
So-
did it.
He's somewhere in Virginia, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we hope you enjoyed the campfire conversation. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It's down there, right there. Don't forget to follow us. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, the email's trail3pod@gmail.com. We really appreciate you guys watching and listening every week. Thank you. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Better spark up the wingsuit.
The Trail Theory Podcast is sponsored by Audimute and Audio Technica. Music by Dan Koch.